a sales call, baby. Let's do this. Well, hey, Steven, it's great to meet you. So, are you based in Berlin, Germany?
I just had dinner and clean up, so...
Steven, what made you decide to reach out? These are incredible goals. I love the fact you mentioned, you're practicing the technique of priming that Tony taught you. It's gonna be 5,000 today, and then in 30 days, we're gonna finish off the rest of the 5,000, and then the 2,000 that you had initially paid for about a week ago, that's gonna contribute. So, all in total, it's gonna be 12,000 for the year. So before I hit the submit button, I just wanted to confirm, Steven, are you truly committed this year in 2020 to giving your absolute best work to building your online fitness business?
I do. Now I'm even more motivated and committed, yeah. So
it just successfully went through. So Steven, I just want to congratulate you as the newest member of the 7-Figure Mastermind. I'm so stoked that you joined. Hey, it's so good to see you. If you're new to this channel, my name is Richard. I'm a high performance coach as well as an entrepreneur. And I wasn't meaning on capturing my sales calls for today, but I just happened to feel like filming, and hey, I ended up closing a $5,000 cash collected, $12,000 cash contracted deal. And that's not the point of today's video. I just really want to emphasize the fact that, hey, as an entrepreneur, closing deals is the most important part of your business, because sales is the thing that drives businesses forward, right? And it's also kind of cool because if I make 10 to 20% commission and I collect $5,000, I make anywhere between $500 to $1,000 for 1 hour of my time. So hey, learn the skill of high ticket closing. It will change your life. Now, that's not the point of today's video. I just wanted to share that with you because of how excited I am for closing that deal. But today's video is on the night routine. I've made so many videos on what exactly my morning routine looks like. I've done 3:35 a.m., 4:35 a.m., 5 a.m., wake up morning routines, and they're all great. But the big mistake I realized is if I don't show you that my night routine, what I do at night to prepare for the morning, then I would have done you a huge disservice. So right now it's 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm wrapping up on my work day for the company I'm with, and I'm gonna go ahead and transition into cooking dinner. So come on, let's go. Alrighty, so dinner is ready to go. Super quick preparation. It's just about 10 minutes. And today's dinner is very simple. It's just white rice, broccoli, as well as some edamame beans, and then some steak that I was just reheating. I prepped from last night. Always love these super simple dinners. And then also I'm gonna be listening to the Born to Impact podcast. If you have not listened to this episode yet, I would highly encourage you to check it out. Listening to podcasts when you have downtime definitely keeps you in an elevated state, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. So let's get on this dinner. So dinner was super awesome. Now it's time to enjoy some dessert. One thing that my dad taught me when I was a little kid is, Richard, you gotta be very careful with your intake of sugar. So anytime you have any kind of craving for junk food related to all those sugary sweets, just eat some fruits, because fruit will solve that sugar craving, and at the same time it's very healthy. So I'm gonna crush some grapes, blueberries, raspberries, and get in my micronutrients from all this amazing fruit. And then I'm gonna be jumping into my evening work session, so I'll see you in a little bit. So it's 5:30 p.m. right now. Gonna jump into my final evening session, and you might be wondering, wait, but Richard, you said you're done with work at 4:30, right? So it's funny because as an entrepreneur, I'm the chief of operations of a business coaching organization. That's essentially my 9 to 5 job. But then I also have my own business. It's called the High Performance Training Program. I'm a high performance coach, and I train 100 individuals on how to become more high performance versions of themselves. So that's energy management, time management, mindset, and a whole bunch of other things. And I work on this business essentially in my early mornings as well as in my evenings. Right now in this stage of my life, I am not going to settle for just multiple 6-figure, even a $500,000 a year income. I want to be able to create impact, and in this year alone, I want to grow my high performance business to 7 figures in 2020. And the only way to do so is if I sacrifice, which means put in the hours now when I'm still young, I'm ambitious, and I'm hungry to make an impact in the lives of others. So that's why I build my business so hard. That's why I'm not going out and about drinking, hanging out with friends, wasting time playing video games, because I know that there is opportunity, and opportunity is limited. I'm gonna be building my business right now, editing a couple YouTube videos and a couple other things. So let's get started on this work session. I just want to ask you a quick question. He was going to be business coaching, and we discussed that business coaching wasn't going to be relevant, right?
Yeah, sure. I'll share thoughts on the pros and cons. So
Alrighty, so it is 7 p.m. right now, and I am officially done with my workday. Man, today was a super good day. I hope you had an amazing one as well. And one thing I always do at the end of my workday is I do something called an end of day report. And essentially, I have an accountability partner. He's a brother in Christ. His name is Newton. I met him through my Bible study. And the crazy thing is, when I was flying into Toronto back in March, I was actually praying to God. I said, God, could you please place strong men of faith who are also entrepreneurs in my life, Christian entrepreneurs. And it's crazy because within that first 2-week period, I ended up meeting Newton at our church. And so super thankful for you, Newton, if you're watching this. Now, I sent him an end of day report. On this end of day report, I actually have a couple different things that I put out. I talk about my performance for that day. So did I hit snooze? Did I have a good diet? Did I exercise that day? But then also on top of that, I talk about different kind of vulnerable things. So PMO, pornography, masturbation, orgasm was something I struggled with in the past. So I have to report to my accountability partner if I struggled with any of those things today. So that way, if I ever slip, I have to own up to that. And so you see on the screen right now, I actually have an example of what exactly my end of day report looks like. I type it out on my notes on my phone, and then I go ahead and type in everything. Then I go ahead and copy and paste that onto my messages, and then I send that out to Newton. And he's expecting me to send that out every single day before 8 p.m., which is my hard deadline. And the beauty of it is we're all held accountable, right? So I'm gonna send that out right now, and then I'm gonna go on a little walk. So come on, let's go. So I'm currently taking a walk. It's a little over 7 p.m. right now, and I actually want to do the 1-minute shot clock right now while I'm on this beautiful walk right alongside the water of Lake Ontario. And this is the question for this week. This is from Sam Rafali, and the question is, since sleep is integral to your rigorous daily schedule, do you have any sleep strategies, tips to ensure you get a good night's sleep? And this is such a great question, Sam. I'm happy to answer for you. In fact, this is what I teach in the high performance training program, one of the things. So in my night routine, I follow something called the liftoff rule, right? When you think about a rocket launching into space, what do you think about? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff, right? The liftoff methodology is essentially 10, 3, 2, 1, which means 10 hours before you go to bed, cut out all forms of caffeine. So that means if you go to bed at 10 p.m., by noon, you don't want to have any more caffeine in your body. 3 hours before bed, you want to have no more food, because eating food too close to bedtime is going to prevent you from falling asleep, because you're going to have gastric reflux from digestion. 2 hours before going to bed, you have to stop work completely, which is why I stop work at 7 p.m. because I go to bed generally around 9 p.m., right? Giving yourself a buffer before you go to bed from work actually prevents you from offloading all the things that you have to think about. And then finally, 1 hour before bedtime, you turn off all electronic devices, because electronic devices give blue light, which prevents you from going to sleep because your body thinks it's still the daytime. So follow that principle when setting up your night routine, and it's going to be absolutely killer for you. And hey, I hope that helped you. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my walk here. And before I let you go, I just want to let you know that the High Performance Training Program Season 2 is starting in June of 2020, which is very soon. Over 1,000 people have already signed up on the waiting list. Why haven't you, right? Mindset, personal development, productivity, time management, energy management, and so many other things are going to be covered, and I don't want you to miss out. So go ahead to the first link in the description if you haven't already to join the waiting list, and I'll be sending you a couple email updates to keep you in the loop as we launch that program. So I'm going to finish the rest of this walk, and I'll see you in a little bit. Let's go. Now, before I head on home, the reason why I love taking walks after workday is it's just such a nice way, especially when you're by the water, to completely unload your mind, right? And so if there's any kind of stresses, any kind of things that are getting inside me, getting into my head, I like to come out here sometimes, journal down, come out here, pray, listen to some worship music. Right now, I'm just listening to Born to Impact because Joel Marin and Dan Long, you guys are crushing this podcast. So I'm just gonna enjoy this time out here. It's so beautiful as the sun's starting to come down, and look at the scenery. Look at that boat. Look at that boat. Absolutely incredible. I love the city. I'm glad Toronto's finally starting to warming up as in still 50 degrees, but we're getting there. All right, I'll see you back at the apartment. So for the past 4 years, I've essentially taken a cold shower every single morning, but at nighttime, I actually take a hot shower. The reason why is because a cold shower doesn't actually cleanse you. You can't really form any bubbles when you take a cold shower. So I need to take my hot showers at nighttime, and it's such a nice way to relax and turn off as well. And so that's what I'm about to do right now. It's just a little bit past 8 p.m. Let's get some scrubbing going. Alrighty, so it's 8:15 p.m. in the evening right now, and I'm just about winding down before I go to bed. And before I go to bed, I always like to journal. And when I journal, I always write a couple of things that I just want to get off my mind, because oftentimes there's still a couple of these what I call open loops of different kinds of thoughts, responsibilities, different things that we're still thinking about, and I just want to get them off my mind, because your brain is a great place for having ideas, but a terrible one for holding them. So I brain dump and brain vomit all of them onto paper, and then I also journal about this one thing, which is the main thing. Every single day I remind myself of what is the main objective that I'm currently working on right now. And for the past few months, I've committed that I want to build my high performance training program. Coaching program I was telling you about earlier in this video. I want to build this out to 7 figures in revenue in 2020 this year. And then what I want to do from that revenue is I want to be able to donate massive amounts of that to a charity live event project. And if you've never heard about me talk about this before, you can check out the previous video. I'll put that right there, where I actually explain what I want to do with this revenue that is generated from the business. But I journal on this actually every single day. I write down the main thing that will generate $1 million in the high performance training program in 2020 because, and I list out all of the impact reasons of why I do so, because that keeps me in check. It reminds me every single day of why it is that I'm working so hard, why it is that I'm putting so much sacrifice into building out this business. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now before I jump on bed and start my end of night routines. All right, so I'll see you in a little bit. So it is exactly 8:35 p.m. in the evening, and I have touched down on my bed. Oh boy, it has been a very, very long day. Closed an awesome sales deal today, filmed a YouTube video, made a couple very, very important phone calls, and really took the actions to move my business forward. And what I like to do during my last 30 to 45 minutes of my day is just read a really good book. Reading books is a really good way to just decompress and relax. I personally read a lot of business as well as personal development books, but the content of what you read doesn't really matter as long as it relaxes you. And so I'm gonna spend the last 45 minutes of my day just looking at the sun go down as I have this really, really beautiful view outside my window, as well as just enjoy a good book. So come on, let's get to reading. It's currently 9 p.m. and I'm wrapping up on my night, and I hope you enjoyed this video and all of the actionable content. I would highly encourage you, if you missed them, please go back and rewatch this video, because there's a couple golden gems in here that I know you will use to crush in life. All right, so if you haven't already, go check me out on Instagram. I put some pretty exclusive content on there. And if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe as well as notification bell, because I make videos like this every single Sunday for you to give you clear and actionable tips to crush it. So until next time, stay sharp, stay focused, and go crush it.